Hi guys, Linnea here. I have my big book of shadows that you've all seen me working on if you've been watching me for any length of time. I've been working on this big puppy for quite a while, and I got it made, and I finished it, and I have a spell I'd like to do to protect it from theft, to give it strength, to give myself strength to work in it, to allow us communication, to give it and myself some more magic power to work together, to create a magic bond between us, to prevent theft. I said that, to call his spirit to mine, to give us courage, to create longevity, to bring wisdom, to create a lasting friendship, to break any hexes that might come along, to preserve its youth, to bring healing to our relationship, to give us mental power, to give me mental power to connect with him, to give us happiness together, to give it invisibility, to give us fidelity to one another, to give fertility to our work together, to give myself divination to connect with him, to purify our relationship, to bring psychic power to connect with one another. I think that covers it all. To do that, I'm going to use my grandmother's lantern. This is an antique lantern that belonged to my grandmother on my dad's side. I am not going to cleanse this lantern. It was my grandmother's, then my father's, and then my mother's. It's got a lot of history. These rocks in here, my mother put every one of them. I did, however, clean it, and I cleansed the chimney. But I'm not going to cleanse the lantern itself. I think it's full of magic, and I'd like to keep it there. So there's that. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and take that chimney off. Set it safe. All right. It does have a brand new wick in it. Okay, I thought it was brand new. It looks like it's been burned on that end and turned around and burnt on that end. I've never burnt this lantern. This was my mother's lantern before it was mine. So I've just kept it in the family, nice and sacred and safe. Okay, so I'm going to work on communication first. So I want to use some celery seeds, some fennel, and some sand. So my sand is right here, which works well because it works well with my goddess as well. I'm just going to use my hand as a funnel there. It doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Celery seed. I've got herbs everywhere in bags, and you already know why. So, celery seed. And fennel. I'm actually going to move these out of the way as we go, so that I don't get confused later. And fennel. I'm making this lantern so that I can use it when I work with my book. Not necessarily to see by, but to connect us together, to strengthen our bond, and to just make it more special, make it more ambient and sacred. So that was for communication. Strength will be next. I need pennyroyal, tea, and mugwort. Pennyroyal is first. Tea is next. And some mugwort, which is in a bag. Everything has been packed, and I keep digging it back out to do spells. Okay, I'm going to enchant this right quick. Okay, and next will be magical power. For that, I simply need a cork. That's it, a cork. For a magical bond, I need some hair of my own, which won't be hard. Okay. For spirit, to call his spirit, I need some sweetgrass. And dandelions. So, sweetgrass first. Come on out. Some dandelion. Yeah, now I got pieces of hair wanting to come out. I'm going to use a few dandelion heads, just the blossom. They'll look pretty in there anyway. Okay, and next is to prevent theft. I want to add sorry about that, some garlic and some caraway. So I'll add a spoon of garlic. I don't have any cloves, or I would just add a clove. I think a clove would be better, but like I said, I don't have any, so. And some caraway. And some cumin. Okay. To give it extra power, I'm going to add some ginger. I'm losing bags left and right. Okay. For to bring visions from my book to me, I'm going to add some coltsfoot. Some Damiana. And some Angelica. Which I would add anyway because it enhances the spell properties of any spell you're doing. Next would be courage. So, courage. Excuse me. So we want some mullein. And I have mullein blossoms, which are going to look really pretty in there. So I'm going to add a few. If I can keep from dropping them all. Smells so good. Okay, and some yarrow and thyme. Oh, which are both down here. And then we'll enchant again because we've added quite a few ingredients. Some thyme. Which smells so good, makes me want to cook. And some yarrow. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and enchant. Then we'll move on to longevity. Longevity. Remember, when you enchant, to visualize the outcome. Okay. And next, longevity. So we're going to need some lavender and some sage. Lavender. And sage will work double. It'll also protect the book, as well as your relationship with it. So I'm going to add a bit more sage just to work double duty. A lot of these actually work double duty. A lot of them do other things. Of course, I was too silly to write them all down. But that's okay. Next would be wisdom, which is also sage, and olive leaf. I'd like more than one. Okay, then to strengthen our friendship, raspberry leaf, daisy seed, and passion flower. So I have daisy seed at hand. Raspberry leaf and passion flower. Raspberry leaf. Passion flower. Okay. Next would be healing, our Angelica, which we already got. So allspice. I'm using whole allspice. I would use whole everything if I had it and not the powder, but of course I don't, so. Some of it I had to use powder. burdock. It should fall. Burdock is in root form in my collection. And cinnamon. Which I'm just going to put a stick in there. Call it good, a fat one. And some carnation. There was a lot more that I could have added, but I was trying to keep things low because it's quite a bit, and I want to have room for some, of course, some lantern oil. Carnation. Okay. For youth, the youth of my book, I want some vervain and some rosemary. For our invisibility, I want some fern. Oh. Some calendula, which is going to look pretty in there, especially if I can get a few buds. And some snakeskin. Yes. And then for psychic power, we want some bay. I'm using bits and pieces, not whole leaves. You could use whole leaves. I just save those for special things. And some meadow grass, which it just calls for grass, but I use meadow grass because I happen to have some on hand, annual meadow grass. It's just grass. It's just a different kind of grass. And some star anise. And these are going to look pretty in there as well. I'm going to feed a few just so they'll float around and look pretty. Okay. Next is for purification some orris root. And tobacco. Then for fidelity, some chickweed, and licorice root. Or licorice. I don't have root. Okay, and then for fertility, it's some shade grass or horsetail, depending on your choice, what you like to call it. Some mandrake. And the mandrake I'm giving a little extra of because it boosts magical power. We could always use a little boost. And then some oak bark, which is also going to look cool in there. Don't want too big a piece though, so. Oh, that one looks good. Okay, next, divination. I got my dandelion in there. I'm going to put some hibiscus and some meadowsweet. Come on. Meadowsweet. Where's my meadowsweet? I already used meadowsweet. I must have, so I don't need to use it again. Okay. And suit. That was it. Okay, so for purification I used, fidelity I used, invisibility I used, psychic power I used, youth. What's the roof for? Let's go look for that. I missed something. Somewhere there was Rue, and I'm mental power, mace and Rue. Mace, in case you don't know, is the shell around what is called nutmeg. It is a little ball around nutmeg, and you shave it off to use it. It is also usable type herb. Alright, I was going to use now, there was a call for some, did I mark it out because I decided not to use it? I must have. No, I skipped it. Our happiness together. Some hyacinth, which I have a little bit that Jen sent me that I'm going to use a couple of buds of. Some hyacinth. And some chamomile. I know I was missing something because I had all these things left. I wish I could put blood orange in here, but it won't fit. The opening is too small. But if I could, I would do that. But I have some nice orange peels that smell heavenly that I can put in here, so that works. And some safflower. Give it a pretty red color. Oops. Some meadow sweet I already added. Some frankincense. I'm just going to put a few tears in here. Some of the smaller ones. Smells good. Okay. Now, I personally am going to add some rose petals for love. Build a love between us. I'm going to add some dandelion seeds, the little fairies, to build freedom between us. so that neither of us are afraid to say what we think or feel. I know I sound like a fruitcake, but my book has his own. He's his own little spirit. And I just want us to be free to communicate in an open way. The next thing I'm going to add is a magnet. Gently, ever so gently, to attract us to one another. And I'm going to add a key so that we can always unlock every door. Which key to add? A door key, a door key. This is a good one. And then I'm going to add a couple of pieces of mirror to reflect any negative energy. Maybe one more. I always save my broken mirror for that purpose, to add to spells. And I got that from Lady Grave Dancer. Okay, everything is completely in there. And what I'm going to do next is a big enchant, because I didn't enchant in between enough. So I'm going to do an enchant now on all my ingredients, which are many. But luckily it's a very big lantern. I'll show you. There's plenty of room. So one more big enchant. And then the next thing we'll do is add our oil. And like I said, it's a big jar. So it took quite a bit of oil. beautiful. Man, that wick soaks up a lot of oil. I didn't realize. Maybe I should add some more. I put a lot of oil, but the wick soaks a lot up. Look at that. Look how much it soaked up. I filled it up to the little curl here. Anyway, so I want to burn it every time I use my book, or write in my book. I would like to use my lantern. Well, let's do it. Yeah, it doesn't want to light. I don't think it's soaked up enough yet. It's just smoking. A lot. Maybe the wick is too old. I'm afraid it's going to get to the part that's wet and then kind of flame up because it's still smoking. I don't know. I know they're rolling down inside to put them out, so I'm trying it. But it's still smoking. So we're sitting here in silence. Am I driving you nuts? Anyway, I think it'll be cool to have some ambiance and to use my lantern for just that one special thing. And I mean, you can see the keys, the key, you can see the mirror pieces. on both sides. You can see the magnet. It all looks very cool. You can see all the herbs and spices and all the stones my mother put in at the bottom. It finally went out. You can see all the beautiful parts to it. I wish it would light. I do wish it would light. I would like to see it burn. Oh, there we go. I just didn't wait long enough. So that's how you turn it up or down, is by rolling the, oops, you have to get it all the way in there though. By rolling your thing up or down. We did it. We got it to work. I'm so excited. So now this cool ambient lantern, and I'm going to turn the light off. So there it is. My awesome lantern to light when I'm using my book. My book, Augustus. So cool. So cool, so special, means so much. And it has all this great power in it now to keep us close, to keep us bonded, to keep him invisible so no one will steal him, to keep him protected. Everything I wanted it to be. So look what you can do in a lantern. Look what you can do. And this is just for a book. You can use a lantern for many different things. And if you'd like to know all those different things, look at Jen the Taxidermy Witch. She's got some great ideas. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly have. It ended with a nice end. I was happy for that because I was afraid it wasn't going to. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stick around for more. I hope you all know that you're divine and sacred beings of light and love, and I love each and every one of you with all of my heart. I hope to see you again soon. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below, and I'd be happy to answer them. And if I don't know the answer, I'll do my best to find out. Talk to you soon.